Welcome, everyone, to this week's Global Intelligence Update. And as always, we've got a great guest with us. So let me just introduce to you, in case you didn't know who Dr. Kate Raynes-Goldie is. She helps different leaders and teams thrive through curiosity and purposeful play to boost innovation, connection, clarity, and creativity. Kate is the creator of SUPERCONNECT, a methodology based on Lego serious play that boosts inclusion and belonging, psychological safety, and improved business outcomes through better conversations. Kate has had a long-running innovation column in the business news and is regularly invited to teach at universities in Canada, Australia, at the graduate and undergraduate level. She's spoken around the globe, including TEDx Perth, SXSW, which is in Sydney and Austin, and the International Lego Serious Play Conference in Legoland in Denmark. She's been featured on MTV twice and in Elle magazine, and also named one of Western Australia's 40 under 40 and the Australian Computer Society Professional of the Year. Wow, Kate, thanks for joining us. What an introduction, and what a background you've got there.
Thanks. It's
Loving the
great to be
Lego.
with you.
Yeah, no, really, really glad you could make it. And yeah, an awesome topic, Lego. Um, some good old memories that might come back for some of the
I mean,
viewers.
who doesn't love Lego? It's like chocolate, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so for those that don't know, Kate, what is Lego Serious Play and how does it work? Who is using it?
Well, I actually want to ask, has anybody previous to this heard of Lego Serious Play? You can just put up your hand. Okay, okay, one person. Okay. So that's usually about the numbers that people have heard of it. And it's a method that was developed in the 90s. So it's been around for a while. And it's really started to gain traction in the past, maybe 5 to 10 years. And it was developed by the Lego Group and two European business professors. And they developed it as a tool for um, the idea is that if you want a different outcome, you have to change the method. So it was how do we bring more innovation um, and better outcomes in terms of strategy in the boardroom. So if you look at the original photos, there's these guys in like 90s business suits playing with Lego. And they're so they're developing this method that is now used by companies around the world, mega brands like Virgin, IKEA, and Samsung, and they're using it to do all sorts of really really great things um, around not just strategy and innovation, but team building and connection and education. And it's just this really really powerful method that um, I guess another way, the important thing to know about it is that it's not what you think about in terms of if you've grown up playing with Lego. It's not cars and buildings. It's not building things from instructions that are perfect. It's um, responding to curious and well-crafted questions and building your answers with Lego. So it might be something like build what curiosity feels like. And so what gets created are these kind of surreal and dreamlike creations that in describing it, it sounds very simple, but it's incredibly powerful the things that happen for people during these sessions.
Oh, that's so awesome. And who is currently using this, Dr. Kate?
Yeah, so it's as I mentioned, it's big companies like Virgin, IKEA, and Samsung, but even um, a lot of coaches and facilitators and keynote speakers are learning it as well. We do training and we get a lot of teachers who want to use it in the classroom, but actually often will start their own businesses and leave teaching. We get psychologists. We've had a dating coach train with us. We had two Google
Wow.
engineers learn the method. So it's really kind of like, you can apply it to almost anything, I would say, and get a really interesting outcome combining it with what you're already doing.
Oh, no, that sounds awesome. And I've also heard that it's open source. It's an open source method. So for those that don't know, what does it exactly mean? And why is it so exciting that it's open source?
Yeah, and that's I think what's really great about it because other facilitation methodologies, it's very locked down, and it's this is the rule, and you maybe have to pay a licensing fee, or, it's really controlled in terms of what you can do with it. And back in 2010, Lego actually just said, we're going to make it open source, which means that it's sort of given to the community. It's sort of similar to the open source model of software, so that as long as you are abiding by certain rules, mainly around Lego's brand, they very generously let Lego Serious Play facilitators use their brand. Imagine like Coke or Pepsi allowing that to happen, right? Or McDonald's. It just isn't something that's fathomable. But it means that you can use it and remix it and turn it into something new, and be allowed to do that. And so the people who I've seen it used most successfully are the ones who've taken it and integrated it into their existing practices to make something new. So it's really a method for innovation that is really innovative and invites innovation in itself.
Oh, now that sounds great. We jumped straight into the questions. We didn't really talk much about yourself. So let me just put a few steps back and ask, how did this change your life? How did this get into Dr. Kate Raynes-Goldie's life?
So when I first got my certification in the method, I was so enamored, and I'm still very enamored, as you can probably tell, with what it can do in terms of not just innovation and strategy, but bringing people together and having human connections, which I think we just so need these days, especially with all of the stuff that's happening. I don't need to go into all of that, but we all know that the world is like, uncertainty is the new certainty. And so I just started carrying around this little bag of Lego in my bag, and because I can tell you all about how this works, but giving people a demo, it actually makes sense. So I'd carry it around and give people a demo, and I found that even if the person was like, well, I'm not ready to do some training, or this isn't for me yet, I would find that we would still have this human connection. We'd become fast friends. And I was also going through this dating project at the time, like going on all these dates. And I was going on a lot of first dates, and they weren't really that great. And on one of these dates, I had my Lego with me, and I thought, if I'm getting these really great outcomes from just business demos, what if it works in dating? So that actually turned into a dating product, and actually helped me find my current partner, and we run a business together now. But it was also the precursor to my flavor of Lego Serious Play, which is called SUPERCONNECT, that is all about creating connection. And it could be on a date, and people do use it on dates, but it is sort of like enables even more powerful outcomes with Lego Serious Play, because it creates that connection. So no matter what, you're going to walk away feeling connected, which we all need. So it changed my life because it helped me find love, and it's really become the biggest part of my business. I've been doing keynote speaking for a long time, and I pretty much don't do a straight up keynote speech anymore. I always bring some Lego and do an interactive session. So I'll talk about something like curiosity, which is my most popular one, and then actually get people to experience what that's like. And so that, as just the things that I see happen for people are it just fills my cup so much. So it's really transformed so many aspects of my life, with play and bringing play to a world where I think it's so needed.
Well, I would love to attend one of your sessions and see you in action. Well, we've all seen all these videos and photos on Facebook or other social medias where people have built amazing stuff with Lego. One that immediately comes up for me is the Death Star from Star Wars, and which is insane, building something like that.
I think that's the most expensive set too.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
No, it's amazing. And that leads on to my next question, which is, what are some of the coolest things you've seen clients do with Lego Serious Play?
So it's not actually building the Death Star.
No.
But I would say it's kind of like building the Death Star in their business. If the Death Star was like a giant thing of like loving connection rather than death, I guess. it's really doing things where they're taking it and connecting it to their existing practice and doing something that um, is serving a need that wasn't being served. So I think my favorite one is, her name's Amanda Larkin, and she has a company called Cultivating Curiosity. So she did her training, her like serious play certification training with us, and her background is teaching and philosophy education and twice exceptional. She's twice exceptional, and her kids are twice exceptional. And what that means is that you're gifted, but you also have maybe ADHD or autism or another kind of learning challenge. So it's this really specific need that you have in terms of education, but is really not being catered to. And so you have all these kids who are extremely talented and are not being properly supported. And so she, because she has that experience, lived experience of her own experience being twice exceptional in her kids, she's developed a program called Philossobrick that brings together philosophy education and Lego serious play. And she's able to offer this curriculum for kids, twice exceptional kids, and even curious kids. So it's not exclusively for twice exceptional kids. But she is doing so well that she has, parents pounding on the door to work with her because no one else is able to offer what she does for kids. And then Tanya Hallett's a favorite of mine, who her background is in trauma-informed practice, and using that with Lego serious play as a way of helping to train businesses to become trauma-informed. And that's a methodology or a framework that's come from social services and mental health care services and healthcare. That's a way to ensure that people are safe, regardless of their experience of trauma in the workplace. So she's using it as a tool to teach that. And so just seeing all of these kind of non-standard uses of Lego serious play that people can go and then do something really powerful because it's open source. That's what just really blows me away, is those kinds of things that people do.
It's very interesting for me how Lego Serious Play integrates into the business model. It's really, really amazing for me, and what you've done. So, guys, if you haven't checked out Dr. Kate Raynes-Goldie, please check her out. You can just Google her. You'll find her on Google. You've mentioned quite a few of the clients and companies you've worked for, and I want to ask you on that, like, what is the most powerful thing you've seen during a session that you've had with your clients?
So we do training for people. So if you want to learn the method, you can train with us. But we also people will book us to come and do conferences and workshops. And in one of those sessions, so it was 800 people in a big conference room. And the theme was exploring diversity and inclusion. And it was a very high level. We didn't really have any goals other than exploring those themes. And I was told after, it wasn't because I was at the front, kind of like orchestrating the whole thing from the front. So I wasn't at all the individual tables. But I found out that one of the tables, they're usually organized by company. Two people shared with their leaderships something really personal that they never felt comfortable sharing during the session. And so the fact that that was able to be an outcome, even though we didn't specifically say we wanted that to happen, but the fact that people felt safe and included enough, which was the theme of it, that was the most powerful thing. And when I heard that, someone shared with me that had happened a few weeks later. It's just like I got goosebumps hearing that magical thing had happened for someone, and that probably shifted how they were able to show up at work.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds amazing. Then another big question, Kate, and that's why maybe quite a few are here, is the claim in the title. Why is Lego Serious Play AI proof? And how can it help make your business AI proof?
Well, I think all of these outcomes, right? Like ChatGPT can't do any of these things. Gen AI can't do any of these things. And it won't be, I don't think, for the foreseeable future, because one, it doesn't have hands, it doesn't have a body, so it can't be in the room facilitating. But I think that there's a lot of really human things that it requires that ChatGPT and Gen AI will not be doing anytime in the near future. Things like being able to read the room and understand what needs to happen next, and maybe go, okay, this is what we planned, but now we're going to need to do these questions instead. And just the very nature of it being very tactile and physical and very human. It's an offering that requires both being human to do, but also gives you very human outcomes. So I think it's one is that you can't get AI to do it. And two, it makes outcomes that are, I think the more that we have AI in the world, the more that we're going to be craving and needing these authentic, genuine human connections and outcomes.
Yeah. No, I agree on that totally. And for those that want to know a little bit more about the Lego Serious Play, or if someone wants to get certified in it, what would they need to do? How should they pick who to train with, etc.?
Yeah, that's a really good question because it's open source, it means that it is largely community governed, and so there's a very wide variety of training options. So some of them I can see have been 1 day training with some online components to it. The one that we run is a SUPERCONNECT plus Lego Serious Play. So we teach them together because we think the psychological safety part is really important. So ours is a 3 day in-person one, but we also offer SUPERCONNECT as a standalone online. And then there's some on the other end that are 5 days in person, and that's with the Association of Master Trainers. And even though it is an open source method, they're very kind of strict about how they teach it and how it can be used. So the best advice that I got with who to pick and who to learn from was to find, like, what is it that you want to get out of it? Are you looking to learn the rules and break them, which is what I was trying to do? Or do you want something that's, very kind of this is the rules, and these are the rules of engagement, and it's more like a standard non-open source method. And what do you prefer? Do you prefer in person? Do you prefer online? Like, what works for you? And then maybe just asking around, have you trained with this person? What was it like? And seeing if it's the right fit. Yeah, because it is open source, it is very variable in terms of what the offerings are.
Yeah. No, it's very interesting that it's open source. So if someone wants to find out more, Kate, where can they go? Should they just reach
Um,
out to you?
Yeah, you can send if you want to have a chat. I'm happy to answer any questions about any of these things. We train in Australia and online, but there's people in all across the world doing them,
Oh,
and happy to point you if you want to have a chat with me about who might be good doing it. And yeah, just on my website or on LinkedIn, kateraynes-goldie.com, you can send me a message.
awesome. Okay, guys, if you want to reach out, you just heard it. Then, Kate, I want to know what's next for Dr. Kate Raynes-Goldie. What's happening this year or next year? Or is there any keynote or events that any of the listeners can catch you at?
So we're doing our first ever in-person training in Brisbane in a few weeks.
Oh, wow.
And we have been scaling up. You can see here we have a bit of a workshop going on where we are started to do sessions of up to 300 people. We can do any level of people, but often the client will have to buy the Lego, which comes then they often spend more money on Lego than they do on us. So we're scaling up our Lego that is included in the session to make it more accessible. So getting a lot of 300 people wanting to work with us. And we're going to Korea and Japan at the end of
Oh,
August and September. So yeah, lots of exciting stuff coming up for us. Oh, and we are also working on a full year-long SuperConnect certification. And that's really because Lego Serious Play is open source, we want to bring in a level of standardization around the psychological safety and the trauma-informed practice and the human connection side. So it's basically an offering for people who want to bring something a bit more standard to their Lego Serious Play offering. So that'll be launching, I think, next year.
well, no, that sounds awesome. So yeah, guys, if you have any questions, the live chatters, you're more than welcome to put them in chat or unmute, drop them. We've got Kate So you can ask if you need an extra block on your part that you're missing in the box. You didn't get that part. No, I'm just joking, guys. It's completely irrelevant to Kate. So yeah, if you've got any questions, please just unmute and we can jump into that. Let's see, do we have?
Do you find you've got particular industries who are more interested in those type of workshops?
Yeah, that's a great question, Claire. We in terms of training, the people who come to us for training are usually sort of have a mental health flavor, and I think that's because of the SUPERCONNECT side of things. So teachers, psychologists, but then that said, we do get random things where we had 2 Google engineers train with us at the last session. But in terms of the workshops that we get, it's, I would say, we're doing a lot of membership organizations right now. And the other big one is financial services. So a lot of times it's been accountants, we're doing financial advisors is an upcoming one. RSM, which is I think a big global company. They come from Australia, but I think are a global financial services and consulting company. They've booked us a few times, which kind of surprises me. The accountants and the finance people,
Yeah.
they seem really serious, but they love Lego.
They definitely need
yeah, it's great work. Thank you.
Wow. Oh, no, that was a great question. Thanks, Claire. If anyone else wants to drop a question, you're more than welcome to.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
Jeff.
Kate, thank you very much. I wonder if it's possible to have a kind of demo or something.
A demo.
To have a feel of what's a session exactly.
Yeah. Do you have any Lego with you at your house?
On the spot.
Yeah, so it could be something I could organize, which is I'm doing actually a demo for a client next week over Zoom. So generally, as long as you have some Lego in your house, we can do a demo. It's funny because sometimes people will only have I think one of the best ones I did was they only had the Disney Frozen Duplo Lego. So it was all pink princess Lego. And it definitely changed the vibe of the demo, but it still worked. It was pretty cool. But yeah, if you wanted to, maybe we could potentially set up a Zoom. And if people bring their Lego, I could do a little demo for people.
Okay.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks for that, Jeff.
Can I ask something?
Yeah, of course.
Hi, morning. Kate, you're awesome. And, I've grown up with Lego as well and with my children. And unfortunately, I still have the Lego.
Wow.
With Lego Serious Play, what is the goal of Lego Serious Play actually? Is it strategy thinking or is it therapeutical and creative? What is it developing actually, or is it just about connection?
Yeah, and so I think that's really good. A clarifying question, because originally it was designed as a tool for strategy in the boardrooms. It was designed by European business professors, designed to be used in boardrooms, 7 people for multiple days. No one has time for that anymore, and that was back in the 90s. The world was a different place. And so now, because it's open source, there is an invitation to use it in so many different ways. So there was the original design, and now there is people using it for all sorts of different things. So the SUPERCONNECT, which is about human connection, is my sort of add-on to Lego Serious Play, optimizing for that. But there's other people who do things like they're in the UK. There's one called Climate Play, which is basically using it for exploring climate action and climate change. As mentioned, the one Tanya Hallett doing trauma-informed practice, or Amanda Larkin doing for kids, twice exceptional kids. So it's now kind of whatever you want to use it for, and if it works, then that's what it's for. which is, I think, pretty cool because most methods, you don't have that level of flexibility.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Because I saw, yeah, thank you. Because now I saw your background and I immediately try to relate or, be part of this Lego serious play or something like, I was already thinking and I saw maybe you would ask, what type of person you are. Are you the one in the blue bag with all the mixed Legos, or are you the one that's organized where the colors are with colors and things like that? So I can understand that there are so many different ways to use Lego, therapeutical, but also self-growth or self-exploration and things like that. And when you talked about the curiosity, how would you build curiosity? Then I immediately saw that I would build a question mark, out of the Lego block. So this is absolutely opening up Lego in a different way. Awesome. Thank you for this.
Yeah. And it's even, you just reminded me too that people use it for coaching. So it can actually be used one-on-one. And that's something that we teach as part of SUPERCONNECT, which is how to use it in one-on-one sessions. And people find it really powerful because you can actually build your challenge rather than talking about it. And in doing that, it actually really changes the outcomes and results that you can get from it. So it's really like what do you want to do with it, and how does it combine with your existing practice?
Awesome. Thank you, Stephanie. Great questions. Is there anyone else that'd like to ask a question? Just in case. Okay, no, looks like that's all good. So
what I can do just before we close is if people want to try this at home, what we call the initiation question, and this is the question that kind of gets people to shift from normal Lego to Lego serious play, is you get maybe a handful of Lego each. You have to do it with at least one other person, can be maybe up to 5 or 6 people. And the prompt is, the question that you're answering is, build a tower, create a tower with you in it that says something about you. And the tower doesn't have to be a tower. You doesn't have to be a little Lego person or a minifig. It can be anything. So if you gather your friends and get your Lego and build your response to that question and then share as a group, each person sharing, that's a really good kind of like self-guided demo. And even just that question, even though it's not designed to do anything, the stuff that comes out from that in terms of people getting insight into, what's really going on for them and connecting with each other is incredibly powerful. So if you want to do a self-guided demo, that's the question.
Yeah, as you were saying that, I was just imagining it happening, like me and my friends doing that, and as you were ending your sentence, I could just imagine that happening. So wow, that's pretty awesome. Connecting in that regard, But yeah, thank you so much, Kate, for being here and spending some time with us. It was really interesting chatting with you and learning more about Lego Serious Play. I think a lot of us really didn't know what's going on there and didn't know it's such a big model, or you could scale so big. So yeah, very, very interesting. Just want to say thank you as well to all the live viewers that are here, and then also the offline viewers. Thank you guys for all the support. It's been massive this year, and we really appreciate all of you guys. So we're wishing you all the best, Kate, and everyone that's viewing live, offline. Have a great week ahead. We'll see you again next week with a new guest.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you so
everyone.
much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.